All right, we got 50 people in here. What up, everybody?
Hey, what is going on?
Welcome to the unofficial, sort of official 20th anniversary of Kung Pao Enter the Fist. One of our favorite movies of all time.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible to be here. I can't believe 50 people from around the world are tuning in, hanging out with us.
That is wild. And we've got 8 additional people in a living room from the Wii U squad. So, hey.
That's sweet. Okay.
Big ups.
Wii U squad. So, yeah, people are coming in now. Welcome.
Welcome.
We'll give it should we give it like 5 minutes, 8:15, and then we'll chat a little bit.
Yeah, I say we give it till 8:15 or so, but
so the doors are open. It's 9 a.m. in Korea. Shout out to you tuning in from Korea.
How many people we got in each group here?
Oh yeah, is there multiple people?
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
So let us know where you're from, how many people you got with you, and what's your social security number. I'm so poor. Please give me all your money.
Give us
Just
the
kidding.
3 numbers on the back of your debit card, along with the numbers on the front.
And the numbers.
Don't do any of
Yeah,
that.
please don't do this.
Please don't actually do that.
Our tech guru / lawyer said, please do not do that. Please do not do that. Yeah, 2 people.
2 in DC, 2 in Korea. We've got Long Beach,
California,
Minneapolis,
Surf's up, baby.
Columbus, Ohio. Hell yeah. Missouri, Boulder, Colorado. Another Missouri.
There's some Colorado folks.
Okay.
North Carolina.
Brooklyn,
Hell yeah.
New
Brooklyn.
York.
Oh my God. I've lived in Brooklyn. Shout out.
My brother
Work.
lives in Brooklyn. My brother might be in here. Who knows?
Wii squad from Wisconsin.
All
Nice.
right.
Yeah.
Jake
There
Piccolo.
he is.
All right.
I'm brother. That's my brother.
Hey,
guys.
Jake.
That's my brother.
Got Jacksonville, Florida.
Orlando.
O-Town.
Hey.
Oh yeah, Central PA.
I used to live near Orlando. I used to live in Winter Park.
Another Korea. Awesome.
That's sweet.
That is wild. Oh my God.
Yeah, all of you international watchers.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
That's sweet.
Big credit. Big
Yeah.
credit to you guys.
Pennsylvania, Chile.
No way. Chile?
Hell
All
yeah.
right.
Guantanamo Bay.
Bay. Yeah, baby.
Oregon.
Doing hard time watching Kung Pao. They don't give us food, but they let us watch
They
this
give us
shit.
a Kung Pao live stream. Antarctica. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
No.
Hey.
The thank you goes to
Thank
you.
Thank
Come
you guys
on.
for tuning in.
You guys tuned in.
Honestly, like, you can listen. You can do. People say bullshit stuff like you can do anything, but honestly, just email your fucking heroes and ask them if they want to be on your live stream
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
celebrating the movie that they made. Because hey, sometimes it works. If you build it, they will come. Hell yeah.
All right, we got 2 minutes
let's
until
just
we.
dive in.
Let's just start
So,
this shit.
welcome to the live stream, Kung Pao Enter the Fist 20th anniversary. 20th anniversary. I can't talk. It's been 20 years since the movie has been released.
Yes.
So again, we are Honk If You're Henry. We're a comedy group in the Metro Detroit area. I'm Alex.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Amanda.
And if we were smart, we would have lower thirds that say this on the bottom, but
We're not, and we don't.
We don't. Thank you guys again for coming in. We're gonna watch the movie tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We are going to be talking to Jen and Steve, Jen Tung and Steve Oedekerk. We're in the movie. Steve made the movie. He wrote it. He's the chosen one. Jen plays Woe, who you may remember has one boob. Anyway.
That's the detail.
That's the
No, that
detail
is-
I lead with.
That is the thing. And yes,
He
Steve
also
Oedekerk-
directed Ace Ventura 2. He also created Jimmy Neutron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a lot of other stuff that's really good. You should check it out.
Absolutely.
And Barnyard.
And Barnyard.
Barnyard.
And lots of other fun stuff. The Thumb series.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you guys for being here. We're gonna be watching the movie very soon. We do some comedy. If you want to check it out, it's honkifyourhenry.com. You can see some of our sketch videos on YouTube.
And once again, I am going to post that link.
We're gonna post that
Hell yeah.
link. And we do some improv shows in the area. If you're in the Detroit area, we do a bunch of different crazy stuff. And we do a podcast.
We do a podcast.
Tell them about
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah.
guys.
Why don't you tell us about that podcast, Amanda?
She's
It's
the main
called
character.
Dead Waves. It's an improvised paranormal podcast where a psychic, a ghost, and a demon give paranormal and supernatural advice to, callers of all sorts. It's a lot of fun. We get a lot of different improvisers and stand-ups from all over the US. Some of the people who are currently watching have been guests. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Yeah. And it's a great show.
Ooh, you probably
If
should.
if you really like improv, you really like the paranormal, the weird, the strange, the unexplained, it's definitely the show for you. You can get it pretty much everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. Just search for Dead Waves. You'll find us.
Yeah.
So
It's in that link too. You'll see Dead
Yeah.
Waves.
in our link
Yeah.
tree, it's all right in there. So.
Yeah, everything we do you can find from that link. So
yeah.
absolutely.
Ooh, Josimba one.
And now that we have now that we've officially started, I once again want to give a quick shout out to our the guy running tech, the guy moderating this whole thing. Give it up for Chaz.
Yeah.
There's Chaz.
Hi, everyone.
Chaz is our tech guru this evening. He's helping making sure things are running smooth, and so far so good.
So far, so good.
So yeah, let's talk about Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Oh God, where do we even start?
Uh,
I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest. I said this before we got started. I'm still relatively new to the movie. I first watched it only a couple of years ago when Ryan and I started to date. Make smooches and stuff.
Big wet ones.
Oh no.
So, as familiar as I am with it, I'm not nearly as well versed as either of you two are. So,
Yeah.
I mean, really, this is more your wheelhouse.
Yeah. So what I will say, and I could talk for days about this, but I'll just sum it up real quick. So I came across this movie when my friend in junior high and I just found the film. Like the DVD was deeply discounted. We picked it up, we watched it, and we fell in love with it immediately. And every week we would watch this film. And it just became my vocabulary. The words that come out of my mouth have never been the same since. And when I actually met this fucker right here,
Yeah.
and we started working together, on comedy and stuff, so quickly, just Kung Pao quotes. You can even hear it in Dead Waves.
Yeah.
Would
Oh,
just
yeah.
come out of our mouth without us even thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
I can't hold a conversation with people without some Kung Pao line escaping my lips. It's really influenced who I am as a comedian. It's influenced just a lot of the things that I find funny. My sense of humor was heavily defined by this film. It is one of my favorite movies without any exaggeration. It's my top 3. Easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were talking about it a little bit before with the folks that donated. Thanks again to the Eventbrite folks. Just that 90s, early 2000s era of comedy is just very defined. And I think Steve Oedekerk has he's at the wheel of that quite a bit, just because he was involved with Ace Ventura. He's involved with, he's friends with
Absolutely.
Jim Carrey, and
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's in a lot of that all those movies and shows at the time.
Yeah.
And that all that writing is so reflective in Kung Pao. And so my experience with Kung Pao is like I was saying before, is a few of my friends went and saw it in theaters, and it was the day after I was on the bus ride in elementary school, and they were just it was just so funny, it was so crazy, and I'm just it's something I want to check it out. My mom was very strict at the time and did not want me to watch PG-13 movies. Shout out to my mom, who's probably watching. What up? It's okay though, because a couple years later, a friend of mine showed it to me on DVD, and it absolutely changed everything. I was still in elementary school because that year for Halloween, I was the chosen one for Halloween.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I took a couple Beanie Babies, Beanie Baby Gophers.
Yes.
And
Oh my God.
rubber banded them to some some foam nunchucks. And I had an old karate uniform, and I had to wear the shirt because I was a child. And so I wore, or I had a muscle suit, and I had the shirt on over the muscle suit because I wasn't allowed to just wear the muscle suit. And then I wore karate pants, and I was the chosen one for Halloween. I got sick that year and I couldn't go trick or treating, but I went to school
Aw.
like that. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
I legitimately did not know that.
I saved it for tonight. I saved that story for tonight.
Thank you for saving that.
Now I need to know, are there pictures? Because if there are,
So I reached out to my mom to see if there was any pictures from the era, and there are not. Because again, I don't think I ended up. And then they killed the stream. Fuck. Just kidding. Thanks for. Is there a watch party?
There is a
Yes.
watch party, and
We're gonna
I'm sorry
play in
that
10 minutes.
I'm sorry that we missed your earlier question or didn't address it, but also yes, there will be a Q&A after the film with Steve Oedekerk and Jennifer Tung. So no
Yes.
worries, man.
Yeah. So in about 9 minutes now, we're
Yes.
gonna play all of Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Yes.
And then right after that, we're going to talk to Steve and Jen. It's going to be great. So yeah, that's my experience with Kung Pao. It was it's been a part of my
So
my life
because
quite a
there were
bit.
No photos. We need to recreate that then.
yeah, one day I'll have to bring back the costume.
Next week.
There weren't any photos. I mean, I gotta get it. I think I have karate pants now, so yeah, ninja pants. actually.
Forrest, yes, I love Mystery Science Theater
We-
3000.
All love MST3K over here, and
Yes.
that should not surprise you.
Yes. There won't be any. We're not going to do any commentary during.
No,
the movie, just so
no.
you know, we're
We're-
just gonna watch the movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if
we're
you're- if-
gonna shut the fuck up.
if you're
for
mad
an hour and a
if
half.
if you're mad that it's us talking and respite is coming, don't worry.
Yes. In about 8 minutes, we are going to just show you the movie. We really appreciate you asking us to talk over the movie, but we are not going to talk over the movie.
we're gonna spare the 80% that don't want to hear us talk anymore. We'll type in the chat if we can. Chaz is in the chat, so maybe
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
maybe be in
We're
the
not gonna
chat
leave you
soon,
alone.
so-
But we're also just gonna shut the fuck up.
yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Like I said, we're just waiting until 8:30. We'll start the movie and go from there.
Yeah.
Talk to our good friends.
Here's I mean, we got a little bit more time, and again, there's so much I want to say about this movie.
Mhm.
I know.
And just one thing that I will say is that tying into the MST3K thing, I actually saw Kung Pao before I watched any MST3K.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I
Too,
think
actually,
just
yeah.
Kung Pao really introduced me to the possibility of like, and I think this even because I do music as a hobby too. And I think even that introduced me to the concept of like taking something that somebody made originally, sampling it more or less.
Yeah.
And then,
Making it your
making
own.
it into a new thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
And
almost
so I think
like
this kind of transcends genre where even like from a music standpoint, I realized through that like, yeah, there is source material that you can take and just totally flip into something new.
hell yeah.
Like it's a stupid movie and there's no denying that, but just
It's a beautiful movie. It's
The-
perfect.
the genre that it basically, if not created, at least perfected
Yeah.
is really
Oh,
something
yeah.
worth talking about.
Absolutely perfected the genre of like dubbing stuff
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
and just making it your own. Yeah.
And just the
Yeah.
fact that now, I mean, from a technical standpoint, I know that it looks a little bit dated now, and you can clearly see where they inserted themselves or like extra limbs and things like that. But it's still really impressive just how they did it.
I think for the time, yeah.
For the
For
yeah,
the time, it definitely is, yeah.
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Good stuff all around, gang.
Great stuff all around.
Okay.
We got 6 minutes.
Yeah, we got 6 minutes. We talked a lot in the first hour. Some of you were only subjected to it for like 20
Yeah,
minutes.
hey, for those of you who have been with us for the past hour and 24 minutes,
Thank you. And I'm sorry.
Your friendship bracelet is going to be in the mail by next
Yep.
week. Don't
Yep.
worry.
You have
I
to
got
pay for
boo.
shipping.
oh, what is our favorite part of the movie? Was a question that was just asked.
Ah.
That's a good question. We kind of talked about it in the pre-show, but my favorite part of the movie, I don't know. I really like all of it is perfect.
Mhm.
I can't.
The
I really
entire-
can't pick. Here's what I'll say, and it's going to be a controversial statement.
Okay.
And I don't know if I want to say
None of it's going to be
the actual like people involved with the movie are going to be here. If there was any part of the film that I would consider like the pee break moment, it's got to be the cow fight.
Ah,
that's it. That's the only scene.
What's your favorite part, though?
All of it.
What's your favorite one?
All of it is my.
Okay, all of it is your favorite, besides the cow scene.
And even that, I don't dislike it, but it's kind of like, okay.
I'm gonna say
this was a dated,
favorite.
like it's a little dated. That's all.
It is dated now, but is it? Because they just brought back the Matrix.
They did. Hey, have you guys seen the Matrix?
That's an joke.
No, exactly. The cow fight was in ads. Like it became a very
I do.
It became the
that.
thing from the movie.
Yeah.
That was like
all the trailers.
Yeah,
even though like the BTS on the DVD.
Exactly.
Like him talking about the cow scene,
and like it was cool. Like technologically, it was awesome how they did it. But
yeah, Steve's graphics for the time was awesome.
Absolutely,
it was really cool. My favorite scene, I think, talking about graphics, was with Josimbo one with Mushufasa.
Yes.
I don't know why, but like we're just going along in this martial arts movie, and then suddenly there's this very distinct scene from fucking Lion King giving him advice. It's so good. It's so good. What about you, Amanda? What's your favorite part of the movie?
Actually, yes.
It's so hard to answer that.
You're fairly new to it.
Oh boy. I mean, I think the Chosimba one is very good. Like, I don't want to piggyback off of your answer, but like
that part is really good because there's so much like this is the game, and then it's just like off game.
Yeah, I think it's tied between that and you can defeat him now. Just,
yeah.
Surely you'll be able
that
to
whole
defeat him now.
like training montage and his like lighting his hands on fire.
Yeah,
and then with Mushufasa, that whole segment is so good.
Yeah, I think it's a tie between those two.
Okay, actually, Mia, I've got to say the ventriloquist scene is incredible.
That is
I'm torn between that and the one guy who's just like, he's still alive, Master Betty, the chosen one, he's still alive.
So cute.
Bye-bye. Or no, actually, I've got my solid answer. The scene where they're all beating the shit out of him.
Oh, with the sticks.
Do you think he wants his towel?
Tiger. Okay, throw us off. Guys, don't tell mom. There's so many like little like lines that are throughout too.
It's actually a lot like the movie Airplane, where it's like every time you rewatch it, it feels like you see something new.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. We're going to be playing the movie. It should play right in your Zoom window.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to do anything else. We're going to go away, which I know that some of you will appreciate. And the movie's going to take the place of us. And then when we come back, it's going to be us and the chosen one and whoa.
Yes. So yeah, that should be around 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
The end of the movie, in case you want to go for a 1.5 hour bathroom break and not watch the movie for some reason.
All right. So Anderson, I will say real quick. So a very cool thing about the DVD itself is they actually have the movie with the original audio when they were just saying just the nonsense lines. And you can actually hear like basically just what they said before it was overdubbed.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Buckman. Or Buckman. And yes, the book on tape version is absolutely wild.
No.
There's a book
No,
on
we
tape
watched
version?
a little clip of that with a Wii U.
Oh, that's right. I
didn't know that was a thing.
I forgot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely incredible.
That's so good.
I had to have just blocked that out. That had to have just been like when those words were like, I don't need to ever remember this again.
The deleted scenes on the DVD are really good too.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
first
they
of all,
actually
go and buy the Kung Pao Enter the Abyss on DVD.
Buy the DVD.
Because there's
Worth
a lot
it.
of extras that are really fun.
The DVD has the book on tape version, the original audio version.
Deleted scenes, BTS.
The deleted scenes are actually what they used at the very end when they tease Kung Pao 2 Tongue of Fury.
Oh yeah, it is 8:30.
It is 8:30, so you know what, guys? You've waited long enough. You've dealt with our bullshit.
I'm so sorry.
So hey,
thank you.
Real quick, big ups to Cannibal the Musical. Thank you for referencing that. We are
good.
shilling for Big DVD. We got bought out by Disco Vision.
Mhm.
And hey,
It's all for Steve.
so what do you guys? Let's build a snowman. So in the
Let's build
chat,
that
can I just
snowman.
real quick? I'm just gonna ask you guys. Should we start the movie?
Give
What do
them
you-
the
what do you
movie,
guys say?
Ryan, please. Please give them the movie.
They're all going to leave
They're
us.
going to hurt us.
And
They
then,
know where we live now.
yeah,
They'll find us.
they're going to find us.
Oh, so you're saying that I should click play on this
I
film?
think you
Yeah,
should click
please.
play.
Should I click play?
I think you should click play.
Well, enjoy Kung Pao Enter the Fist, all y'all.
See y'all on the other side.
See you in an hour and a half. Hello,
back.
hello.
All
We
right.
are back.
Sweet. Thank you guys for watching the movie with us.
Yeah.
I hope you guys had fun. Hello. So we got about 7 minutes or so until we start the Q&A. Give or take a couple of minutes or so here for our
Yeah.
guests to join. But thank you guys for being an amazing audience.
You guys were amazing. It was really cool having like live subtitles in the chat because you were all just posting the quotes.
Yeah.
Didn't even need subtitles. It was just,
Honestly, that
Just
made
you
the experience so much more enjoyable. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
it was wonderful. This was my fiance's in the other room. She was watching it for the first time ever. So this was an experience for her. So yeah. It's been great. You guys are awesome. You did it. You made it through the movie.
You did it.
A wonderful
Mhm.
film. You've been enhanced once more, and she's judging us a lot.
Yeah, Buckman, the answer is a lot.
But yeah, hang 10 a little bit, and we will be hanging out with Steve and
Yeah.
Jen here pretty shortly. But yes, it was super fun. You guys were posting. Who is that was talking about the Spanish version of?
Yeah,
the movie?
I've got so many questions about
Yeah.
that. I need to see that now. That's so interesting. And the Japanese version that was just dubbed by one person.
Oh, Meryl was talking about that. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were saying that
Mm.
there's a Japanese dub that's similar. That's cool. So, yeah. Apparently the Spanish version has a lot of lines that are close but slightly different. Like Woe says, "You'll see me many more times throughout the movie," instead of in the sequel. So there's some
Yeah.
interesting little different lines and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. I never knew. I've seen this movie
So many
hundreds of times at this point. Every human I see, I'm like, we're watching this movie now.
This is
It's
maybe
time.
4 or 5 for me.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I mean, considering the first time I saw it was almost 5 years ago, just about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it a yearly thing, at least.
It's beautiful. Sweet. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we're just hanging out. Highly recommend go out and buy the DVD, please.
Absolutely.
Support
Mhm.
Steve, support everybody who worked on this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Support
Support
Big
Big
DVD.
Support MCA Disco Vision.
There's some really cool extra stuff on there.
Oh yeah.
There's
There's deleted scenes, some of which are just as wild as the movie itself. I promise
a
you.
panicked thumb, which I will not explain.
There is a scene where he just like beats the shit out of this old guy with his dick.
Yeah, that's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Where can we go to support your improv group? That is an answer that I can immediately give you. Let me post that link into the chat.
Yes. So if you liked the movie and you're fans of comedy,
We had nothing to do with this
we had
movie, by
nothing
the way.
to do with this movie. We're
Please.
just big fans and we hosted this thing. Which once again, thank you guys for coming, for
Seriously.
donating, for just showing up. But if you like what we do, honk if you're Henry. We do sketch comedy on YouTube. We do improv in the Metro Detroit area. We have a podcast.
We do.
Dead Waves, an
Dead
improvised
Waves.
paranormal podcast.
It's an improvised paranormal advice show where we get a bunch of improvisers and comedians call in with all their weird problems, and we fix it sometimes.
Or we just make it very much worse. It's
A lot of times we do.
little column A, column B, I
Yeah,
think. So
But it's fun. It's funny. Check it out. It's on, iTunes, Apple Podcasts.
I mean, technically, yes, you're not incorrect. It is on iTunes.
yes.
But yeah, no, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, basically wherever you find podcasts, you can find Dead Waves.
Yeah.
So
So check it out when you get a chance. We got one of two special guests coming in.
mhm.
Hold on.
We
Let me just.
should
I'll send him a
have,
message real quick and just let him know that we're holding for 3.
Yep. Yeah. So we're holding for 3 to make sure. Unless you're both together.
Oh, wait. Let me. Uh-oh.
Can you?
Mute.
I was gonna say.
How do I allow?
Stand by
video?
for technical.
Oh, actually,
rearrangement
if
here.
you turn your video on, I've got it where non-video participants are hidden right now. So if you enable video, you should be able to pop in.
Do.
Thank
Do,
you for
do.
the
Okay,
interview.
can you guys hear me? Can you guys?
We
Yeah.
can hear you.
Hello,
Absolutely
yes.
perfect.
Okay,
Go.
it says I have a little. You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. That's what.
Oh, let me.
Yeah.
You know what?
We're promoting.
Yeah,
It's cool enough,
host.
man.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll make you a
We're
co-host.
giving you powers beyond.
You've got
measure.
power.
Promotion.
Unlimited power.
You are the co-host now.
Should I try again? Okay.
Yeah,
here we
go ahead and enable video now.
Oh, it might be good. Let's see.
Uh,
there we go.
Hey!
What up?
Hello.
Hi.
Go on.
Pretty
It's
good. How's it
going
going,
good.
Steve?
Going good.
Awesome.
It's great to talk with you.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely,
you so much
man.
for joining us.
I tried to click in earlier to the movie and I went, oh, I don't even have a link. I don't think I didn't know how to get in, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh dang.
Oh.
Well, it's all good. We you.
That's okay. I've seen it. I've seen the phone.
Oh, you have seen it. Okay.
Okay,
I-
great,
okay.
great,
Yeah.
great.
I hope so. Cool. How's everything going over there?
Everything's awesome. It's going really, really great. And then I think we have Jen joining.
Oh,
too, right?
actually, she just
Yeah.
let me make her a
Here we
Right
co-host
on
too.
schedule. Perfect. Yeah, we got Jen coming in.
you guys
too.
are in Detroit, right?
Oh,
Yes,
we are.
we
We
are.
are.
Nice.
the big Motor City.
Yeah.
I like knowing if I go places, I have friends. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got friends in
Always.
Detroit.
Time.
Absolutely. And Jennifer, I have just made you a co-host. You should be able to enable your video now and hop in with us. Hopefully.
Hopefully, we think we should be good. We got about 91 folks in the Zoom room right now. 81,
Cool.
91, 80.
92 actually.
92.
There we go.
Okay.
That's pretty good. But
Ah, there we go.
Ah,
There we
there
are.
she is.
Oh, and she's gone. Oh, she's
Oh,
back.
she's
hey, whoa.
Hi.
Whoa,
Connecting to audio.
Whoa is right.
Hey.
There we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank
How's it
you
going,
guys
Jen?
for joining us.
Of course, you're this little
Pleasure.
forced reunion here. I love it. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's been 20 years, guys. Does it feel like 20 years? It doesn't.
No, not for me because just Kung Pao, like every year it's gotten more. It's more a part of my life every year for
Mhm.
20 years.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty crazy, like how it built. I'll hear more when is Kung Pao 2 next week than I did 10 years ago on the same week.
That's awesome. It's really become like this it's got such a strong following, and everybody who's
Yeah.
seen the movie just like quotes it just
Yeah.
constantly.
It has an obsessive following, I will say, which we are absolutely a part of.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's like at first, I knew we were shooting, and I said to Paul Marshall, I go, I think this is really not going to catch its stride until we're on cable, because it was so weird when we were doing it. And then it was kind of weird on top of weird, the shooting of it, which we can talk about later. But then, you know, when it started getting popular and I saw how many catchphrases, like how many, I would have maybe thought there were 10 lines. It's like, oh, this line's going to travel, man. This line's going to travel. But I mean, when it got down to like, you go that way, I'll go home. You know, it's like, I'm like, every line in the movie.
It's every line.
Every single line is a quote, man.
It's like it's either a quote,
Yeah.
or it's a setup for the next line
It's
to be
just totally insane. It's just really fun.
Oh yeah, it's you guys did an incredible job,
Yeah.
and we're very lucky to be chatting with you guys. And,
Absolutely.
being
Yeah.
able to celebrate it after 20 years is very cool.
Yeah, the 20-year thing's really weird. Okay, so I got called at the 15-year anniversary, and there's a big comedy festival every year in San Francisco. It lasts for 2 or 3 weeks. And they called me and they said, "Hey, do you want to come up for a screening? We're going to screen in a theater for the festival, and you know, for the 15-year reunion." And the first thing I said was, "It's been 15 years." I had I mean, that's the first time I really time checked anything. And that was crazy, because that was a big theater of people watching it that I was in, and everyone knew every line. It was like murmuring and then laughing and then murmuring about the next thing and then laughing. It was totally cool.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
that's
wild when we were streaming the movie, and the chat was like live subtitles, because people would just immediately
Quoting the
quote like the thing that was
Mhm.
about to be said.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How about for you, Jen? How's it been since the movie?
Yeah.
Well, I've been waiting for the sequel, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I know everybody has. Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk
I
about it.
know we talked about it, but things have been fine. And I know. I mean, it's all about, you know, we want to know about what's going on with Steve, but just catching up with other things, and then now a couple of projects on the side, and then went back to school in terms
Alright.
of
Did
helping
you?
people regarding behavioral health and mental health.
Oh
very cool.
wow.
And I'm a caregiver, so that's a big part of my heart too,
Mhm.
That's
So
awesome.
That is
but
a
I-
huge job.
wonderful.
That is a huge job. Like, honestly, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, caregiving is, I think, so like just unappreciated in so many different ways. I think people don't really understand what it really takes to do that sort of thing. So thank you. That is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank you for that.
You.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
That's very
You're
cool.
awesome, Jen.
Yeah.
You're awesome too,
You're
Steve.
awesome.
You're both
You're
awesome.
Hey,
You're
everybody here is awesome right now.
Everyone's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta pat each other on the backs. Each other.
So share with us a little bit of behind the scenes of like what's your favorite memory from filming. A lot of these I assume were on a sound stage, recreating some of the sets and things like that. What was some of your favorite moments filming Kung Pao?
Well, I mean,
Just Steve?
go ahead, Jen.
Oh, no, just Steve.
Okay. There's such a categories, right? Because it's kind of it's a very high tech thing for what it ends up, what the goal is. But the first one that comes to mind really was how the shoot, you go in thinking it's going to be kind of like me doing a regular movie. And then the fact that, I shot it in Rosarito, Mexico. So there was already like a language differential when we would be out on location shooting something. And then in some cases with the crew. And then on top of that, the movie's really weird. And then on top of that, none of the lines being recorded made any sense at all in any way. So I don't know that the crew ever even got their bearings as to what was going on, because nothing made any degree of direct sense. So it was completely insane, and everybody was just working on this thing. And then during the action sequences, it was more obvious what we were doing. But there were just these puzzling looks when there was an occasional bystander or somebody would come to the set, and there were just like no bearings of any kind, and then you want, at first you go, okay, I should probably describe this to people so they have their bearings. And then by day 3, you're just like, no, this isn't gonna work. They'll have to see it when it's done. Cause it really was like patchwork in so many different ways.
That's incredible. I can't even imagine somebody coming up and just like, they're filming another movie in another language and it's all gibberish. The words that you actually pick up on.
Completely. And then I've got these, all our stunt guys were like top of lot. They like just had worked on The Matrix and all these big movies. And then they're there and I'm like their drunk cousin, working with me, but they were having the time of their lives because there wasn't really any rules. And it was really like an indie production. So we were just coming up with the stunts together on set and it was, I think Chad, one of our stunt guys went on, he directed all the John Wick movies,
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was real happy for him. I got to touch base with him at one point, but so it was really this strange combination of new stuff and using a lot of high-end head replacement for the time. Cause it was still on film. Things weren't video digital yet, which would have made life way easier. So yeah, I mean, it was just kind of kooky.
That's awesome. How about for you, Jen? What was kind of your favorite part of filming?
Oh, well, wow. That's hard to choose. However, I've got to say that it was such a joy to work on this production, and thank you, Steve. Great, amazing cast and crew, and just everything was just really well taken care of, fluid, and we had fun. One thing that I remember is was when I had mentioned that my tongue is too short for the tongue fight with Steve. That's Steve.
Yeah. She came up to me. I'll throw back to you. She came up to me and one day and goes, I there's something I should tell you. And I'm like, oh, okay, geez, I wonder if she's got a scheduling problem or something like that, And she goes, we have that scene with the tongue. And then I went, oh, crap. So she's maybe sensitive about the thing. I'm like getting ready to say, well, I can shoot it at an angle, no big deal. And she goes, my tongue's really short. And then I literally laugh it off like, well, I mean, yeah, we could still do it. I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect anything. And she goes, no, like my tongue's short. Like it won't come out of my mouth.
Yeah, going outward. I can go low, but I mean, just to do a fight, I will not win this fight.
That's amazing.
And her name is Tung.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the irony, the great irony of the inability to extend a tongue. So I snapped into gear and we had a prosthetic tongue piece made.
Oh,
wow.
Witness in the film. It is a prosthetic tongue extension.
Wow.
That's wild. I love that.
I would have never guessed. That's incredible.
It looks real. So
Not something
guys.
It's not something that pops into one's head when they're watching.
And I also did my lines with the tongue in my mouth.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's impressive.
Although I guess if you're overdubbing
I
later,
super glued it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Super glued it?
They had
Was it
super
hurt?
glue.
Yeah, we had to super. I was fine with it.
God.
I mean, you super glue it. I mean, then you could just dip it in warm water or tea. This comes right off.
True. Sure, as you do.
You gotta do what you gotta
No,
do.
you super glue things to your tongue. And I'm the taskmaster. Glue it. Just glue it in.
We're done. Yeah.
That's incredible.
This was kind of what isn't very normal on a film is we had the first day of dailies. And everybody was all excited, because back then you still had to like shoot in film and then you go get it processed and then you could see it like usually the next day. Yeah. So I'm seeing the first day of dailies on day 2 and the DP's really happy and everybody's happy because everything looks so good. And then they hit to me, it was like, I was a catastrophe. So I'm like going, oh no. So I had this strange experience of getting together with the DP who was all happy, having him be completely panicked because I'm trying to describe to him that it can't look that good. Because at the end of the day, I'm matching into a beat up
Exactly.
old negative from a movie from the 70s, it's just questionable cinematography. So we had to make an entirely different game plan. And then once he got it, it was really fun. But, you're basically having to force someone to go out and shoot it kind of wrong and leave things a little overexposed in the sky. And because it just wasn't all the digital capability of now, where you could sort of mess it up a little bit. But then we hit a stride. It was really good, but it was still kind of weird for him the whole time because he was trying to hit a low bar, and then I would be excited and he'd go, okay, it must be good.
Yeah, that can be tough when you're used to shooting like really nice, smooth shots, and then you're looking at the old film and they're like shaky and everything's blown out.
Yeah, everything's blown out, and it was an anamorphic lens, and it's just really incompatible with any normal shooting. And I've done 2 comedies in the 2:3:5 wide aspect ratio, which you're really not supposed to do. But I didn't want to truncate it. Although I think the version everybody's seen for years has been the 16:9 standard, crop. But the original was really wide, which is kind of ludicrous for Kung Pao. I shot Ace 2 that way as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So there's one story. There's like a million stories. So anybody ever has
feel free
to answer it. But the one thing that I did that almost no one knows, people that know me know because that I've told. But so I'm in post. The budget's gone because the effects were like just eating everything up, and I'm frustrated because I didn't like the way something connected, and I had to take a scene out, and I'm like, I just need to shoot a scene. So the Mushu Fasa scene in
of course.
Okay, so here's what I did, not to the studio's knowledge, and no one ever knew. So this is pre-HD because no one realizes how quickly technology really changes, So it was pre-HD, so there was no HD camcorders, there was no HD anything. So I had a little Sony like 3-chip super like an 8mm video camera, and outside the clubhouse in my backyard I shot that scene on video, and then I had Joe and Susan do Mushu Fasa, some CG friends of mine, so they did Mushu Fasa. I shot outside with literally a hair dryer for the wind and a golden light that we had in the clubhouse. And then I sent the video off to, because there's not that many places that did it. I had to send the video off to Austin, Texas, like this, because they had a place there that transferred video to 35 film stock.
Wow.
So then I get it back, I process it, I cut it in the movie, and I never told anyone.
That is incredible.
It's like pirating almost.
Yeah. And that is my advice to all filmmakers is it is never acceptable to say, oh, we don't have the money. Oh, we can't get that. There's always a way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing I have to say about Steve. He's just he's just 1,000 steps ahead. Awesome. And he'll make do and he'll figure it out. He thinks outside the box, and that's what's, just brilliant. One of the many things that's brilliant about him.
If we're breaking down the brilliance here, it's a synergistic combination of ADD and OCD that somehow humanity by any other standard is sort of the engine.
So that's the secret. All right, now we got it. Okay, guys.
It's like you gotta see these maladies as superpowers ultimately.
Oh yeah.
One of the questions that we wanted to ask you was, has anybody from the original film reached out or acknowledged Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
Oh yeah, from Tiger and Crane.
From Tiger and Crane Fists.
Well, I like when we got the film, because at first it looked like it wasn't going to work. There was I didn't know how to go about it because there wasn't really any kind of template for this. So I had all these VHS screeners of everything imaginable that was martial arts. And as soon as I saw Who Became Evil Betty, I was like done. I was like, I want this triangle guy on his. I just everything about that I got enamored with, and then I started seeing the other characters, and I'm like, oh, this is totally the one. Because it really is only, that just that one film, Tiger and Crane Fist. And if you watch Tiger and Crane Fist, the storyline isn't even remotely similar. I just knew because people, even Fox, when it got released, they thought it was like a parody. And I'm kind of going, well, is it really a parody? You should say a guy stuck himself in a movie, because if you just treat it like it's a, because what I did is, so I call it more like a weird send up of the genre, because I wanted it to be a classic revenge story, and I really liked him. And you're looking at a lot of aspects too, because I need a lot of overs. I need overshots rather than, because I got to replace everybody. Right. So I finally get the film and I contact the owner and I offer to buy it. So he says he'll sell me the film. So great. So we get this. He goes, we have to find the print. So he went and found the print. And then ultimately, long story short, I bring in a photo cam. They wouldn't run it because they thought it would shred. And I'm like, but I have to have it transferred. And they're like, okay, you sign this, So I thought I might start over. So they do this. They get the transfer done and they go, we don't think you can use this. And it was, I said, what do you mean? I'll clean it. And they showed it to me and it was literally like blue. It was like a foggy blue image. And I'm like, oh, wow. So it was sort of like I had one day of this isn't going to work. And I was getting ready to go look at new films. And then the guy, they had me coming out of photo cam. And I kid you not, it was like a scene in a movie, some dude sitting at a desk. They walked me in an office. He turns around. He's got Coke bottle glasses. They're probably like literally that thick. Like they're changing the shape of his eyes. And he says, I think I can get it back. And this guy single-handedly did something with the layers and this, because again, it wasn't really the tech of today. And he did it. And then we were live and able to do that. Okay. So that's since so that cool. time, now to answer your question, I've been enamored. I like stalk these guys because years ago I couldn't find them, right? You couldn't find them. Right. And now you can find them online. So I've found, but I'm sort of afraid to reach out in a way because it's like, I don't really know what the take is. I mean, I was a huge Jimmy Wang Yu. When I was a kid, Bruce Lee, all these guys, man, I was, Flying Guillotine, all these movies. That's why Kung Pao exists, just because I'm such a fanboy of all these guys. But then you suddenly have a different lens of like, well, Wimplo is saying, I'm a man too, So
and the thing about the nipples.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the milk duds.
So then you're kind of going, I don't know. Maybe I'm a guy they'd love to hear from. Maybe I'm a guy I don't really know, but it is, they all are sort of, and I mean, like iconic heroes for me. And Ling is, you can find her online. She's very, very, big celebrity.
And I mean, I can't speak for the people involved with the movie, but just the frame of reference that I have on it is just, this is totally a love letter to that era of film,
martial arts.
And obviously, even in the credits, you say it's like dedicated to the legendary. Like,
man.
Give credit where credit is due. It comes across as a love letter. Absolutely.
It is. I mean, it's everything I love about them, because honestly, if you look at the premise of Kung Pao, for me, it's that all of those films are this close to being comedies. I mean, it's just dancing the line. And when you get guys that are so genius, the directors like Yen Wo Ping and guys like that, I mean, they did such fantastical work with a stick and a rock. They didn't have a lot to deal with. So it's I love the genre.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we're getting to the end of our time here. So the big question on everybody's minds. Well, first we'll pass it to Jen. Do you have any projects going on in the future that we want to plug? Yeah.
Two, but I can't really talk about them right now.
That's fair. That's
fair enough.
How it goes typically.
And they're potentially, so is brewing. Sure. But again, I'm focusing on helping people as well.
Absolutely.
So that I like to do with my day-to-day, and a dear friend of mine who's very ill. So, Steve?
Yeah. Oh, me. Well, okay. Well, first off, I should cover the whole Kung Pao 2 thing. Okay. So the reason I never say this is years ago, because that's what's crazy is just years. It just doesn't seem like it to me because I hear about Kung Pao constantly.
Yeah.
So years ago, I would say, oh, I can't really do a sequel because it's owned by a Fox and they don't do sequels to like non-Spider-Man movies and things like that. So, because they don't, so it bothered me because originally it was an indie film. I literally got talked into having it be with Fox by Chris Melodondre, who now is the head of Illumination. And Bill Mechanic was the head of the studio at that time, head of film. And they both really wanted to do Kung Pao. Cut to Bill getting fired before Kung Pao came out. I'm there with the new guys, love the new guys, but they didn't really understand like the movie, kind of like some people that see Kung Pao. So it was this thing where I now have the movie at Fox and I couldn't just make the decision of what I'm going to do with it because I really did intend for it to be a trilogy. I mean, it's totally legit. Huh. So and there's a story beyond, but that I would say that story to anyone that would ask me. And I realized after about 4 months, it's never going to happen. People are just going to say, when is Kung Pao 2? They're just going to say it. It doesn't get around, when I give an answer, I'd have to say the answer a million times. And then it would still on Wednesday to Thursday, it'd be like, hey, when's Kung Pao 2?
It's almost a joke in itself.
Generally speaking, I let it roll. And then that got exacerbated with fake announcements of us filming it.
I remember so many.
It was never from me. It was always, they'd use a picture of me and behind a mic saying he just announced it and it wasn't from me. And then I would think, oh, this will blow over. And then it doesn't, So there was never a time. And I think, in the future, it's definitely one of those never say never because now, Disney buys Fox, so it's even more convoluted, but Hulu is within the Disney terrain. So you never know. The more likely thing is me doing the same thing because I took some years off. My girls are getting older and now I'm back in. So the more likely thing is I could do the same type of film, but in other genres, which was the original premise. Originally, before it was Kung Pao, it was just called the dubbed action movie because I was going to jump genres.
Oh, that's
so
sweet.
It is possible I could do something within the spaghetti Western space, which I love.
Oh, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
And then I'd love to hear your choice between these two. I really love something that's almost not on anyone's radar anymore, which is the Sword and Sandal films, because they're ridiculous. All the old Samsons and Hercules and all that stuff. I mean, because they're really, really almost comedies too. So that's probably a more likely, and then how Hollywood goes, that's more likely if there's going to be a Kung Pao 2, it'd be because I would do one of those first.
Okay.
Sweet.
Sure.
Well, hey,
so I am looking at that. And then on the deck right now, in case you guys got to go, the Thumb Wars 9, the only one I've ever directed that's a feature length, has, during post COVID showed up, and then COVID showed up and stayed again. And then here I was alone in post with everything shut down, and I just start messing with it. And then I bumped when I was going to do the release, and I love it. It's in complete epic-y form. I've completely doted over this thing more than ever because you can now, because everything's digital. And I'm lining up. Another company wants to do some NFTs, so I'm lining up NFTs now. And then I'm gonna send the film out for distribution. So I still don't know exactly when, but it's soon. And I might independently release. I'm still deciding what I'm gonna do. So I'm meeting with some people and seeing. And then, do you want me to screen share? Do you have a minute? You want to
hey,
okay, so nobody's done this. I thought it might be cool to do. So this is. I'll just scan through. Tell me if this comes up.
Yep, you are screen sharing.
Did this take over?
Yeah, there we go.
Hey,
there it is.
That's a thumb.
Oh, man.
Okay, so this is from the. So that's just the top of the thing. I'll just go past some stuff for a few seconds here. This is like from my distribution deck. No one has seen this.
That
that
exclusive.
That's a little
Beautiful
let me get
deck.
past.
This is great.
Okay, so these are all the trailers and stuff. We don't have to watch these now, but I got the trailers
I want to
here.
be a thumb.
And
Why
then-
didn't you
what's
ever
that?
make me a
Gotta
thumb?
get Jen-
Steve?
No, you
gotta get Jen in
should. You
this
should be a thumb, Jen, like for sure. This is the maybe I'll just click through a few in the-
Wait,
in
what was the
gallery.
hairy one? Wait, go back. Wait, what was the hairy
Okay,
one?
I'll go.
Was that
I'll pass a
Chewbacca?
few here.
Was
So
that
this
Chewbacca?
is what's that? Let me go
What
back.
was the hairy thumb with the brown?
I think we'll get to him. I'll click through. That's
I
Popo.
saw
those
it.
are great.
Chewbacca.
And
think.
that's I have a road to present, which shows a lot of the old clips like this.
Oh, that's
you know,
sweet.
leading up to that's great. And then I think we're gonna hit. There he is. Yes, he's
There we go.
Yes.
getting choked out with sausages by Thumb Loren, and that is a sequence of Luke or Loke, in my case, has a fantasy of what his life could have been like. It goes into this fantasy sequence of this really sweet Thanksgiving dinner that goes awry. Let's say.
That's great. I
That is
love that.
amazing.
So yeah, it's all pretty epic-y and such. And probably the interesting thing about this, let me stop the share. Let me see if there's anything that's worth glancing at here. I guess there's a lot on this whole deal. Oh, these are kind of fun. So this is sort of a side by side you
Oh,
get
sweet.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
of like
Kind of by shot by shot.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
recreation, and then
Oh,
yeah. So
that's
it's
cool.
really
Nice.
it's kind of the look is all pretty cool and
Yeah.
That's
all
awesome.
that. And there's the thumb version of these guys, and of course,
Oh,
Oh
that's
my God.
perfect.
Oh,
He's got the perfect width for him. He's
Yeah.
wide.
he's a thick boy.
He's
Look
very
at him.
thick.
Oh my god.
okay. So
That's beautiful.
there's
I'm
this.
excited.
No one's seen any of that, so you guys are the first.
Hey,
cool,
yeah.
thank
You
Oh
saw
my
it here
God.
first, guys.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So that one's a lot of fun.
That's so
Thumbs,
cool.
Kung Pao is number one. Thumbs is number two in terms of just stuff that I never stop hearing about. So I thought, okay, when I
Yeah.
roll back in, I'm going to do one of those things. So I decided to just make the film. So
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys again. We can't thank you enough for tuning in and hanging out with us.
We have to give them the same question we gave chat earlier.
Oh,
Oh,
that's true.
yeah. Amanda, do you want to give that?
Oh,
So if you could pick any movie that's out
Okay.
there in Hollywood, and you could dub it and give it the Kung Pao treatment now, besides for B movies and stuff like that, what would you choose?
oh
Pass
man,
it to
I mean that.
Steve and Jen.
Yeah, Jen, you got one.
No, Steve, that's a you one.
Okay, so I would, honestly, in a weird way, probably because I just did Thumb Wars. I was sort of in that group that wasn't total, even though there's great stuff in it. I wasn't totally enamored with the final trilogy of Star Wars because Episode 8 was such a miss, but with wonderful stuff. I mean, I've parodied a lot of 8, and then I wrote my own 9. So when you see Thumb Wars, you really will see. It's funny because it's so, silly and ridiculous, but the ending is literally, I wrote the ending to be like what I would have rather seen in the
cool.
ending. And I have certain power, like I can bring Luke back to life because I don't think they should have killed him. So I did. So it's things like that. So I think that would be the one I'd probably want to mess with emotionally till this leaves my head.
Okay.
But other than that, I like the old genre stuff. That's
There's
my
a lot to
favorite.
play with there.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot to play with. What about you, Jen? What do you think? What's a movie that you want to see turned into a kind of a Kung Pao-esque movie?
A Kung Pao-esque movie.
Yeah, just like dubbed over. Somebody's inserted into the film digitally.
Steve puts himself in there.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to what Steve mentioned, which I'm like, yes, that's brilliant. I totally agree. Brilliant. Maybe like vampire,
Vampire
like
movie.
kind of go
That'd be
like
fun.
dark and dorky, and then
Absolutely.
That'd be good, especially with like the Bela Lugosi arena. and
Oh
Vincent
my
Price,
God, yes.
yes.
all that stuff.
stay with
So
that,
And then before you guys go, let me ask you guys, what would you pick between spaghetti, Western, or sword and sandal, and or any other genre you like? Because that's one thing I'll be looking at.
I love that you're asking me this because we were having this conversation maybe an hour ago.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was just gung-ho about just taking one of those 70s like spaghetti westerns like Django or like
that
one of
would
the
be so
classics
fun.
Yeah.
and just giving it the Kung Pao treatment. That's my answer is 100% Western.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that's my lean. I feel the same way. And kind of like the Hong Kong films, for every one that you know, there's 100 you don't.
Oh, absolutely.
There's so many, and it might be easier to get the sourcing and seeing those. So okay, I got a job then to do, so I'll get that going.
Well, good luck to you, and thank you guys again for joining us on our
Seriously,
live stream.
thank you all.
Congratulations on 20 years of a brilliant movie. You guys are are
Happy
masters.
anniversary.
You guys have changed our just vocabulary.
Yes,
forever.
we've changed indeed. 20 years.
No, I
Don't
was
shut
like,
it up and just what? Yeah, 20 years.
no, just we
I'll
communicate.
close with one of the only thing that lingers in my world in Betty when I'm for whatever reason when I'm alone, sometimes I'm working, I will literally hear, because I fell in love with the little kibitzing thing he would do when I would fill time, where he'd just start talking about random stuff. So I'll literally be sitting alone, not thinking, and I'm just going, I don't know. You guys want to like go to Denny's later? Maybe like, get some like moons over my hammy, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, that is still a constant with me.
Funny.
beautiful.
So
Betty
funny.
making small talk.
And Birdie.
Bird.
How did you come up with that though? I mean,
That's a good question.
Oh, well, it was the footage. It was a footage. He was, what in the film, it was written, again, we didn't go into this one, but it was written at an editing desk because I couldn't write it just like a regular script. So I outlined the movie. Then I sat down at the editorial and would look at footage and start piecing together. And I was writing the screenplay while I was looking at footage. So I had a mic there. Oh, this I definitely should have said before. I wasn't planning on doing all the voices. That wasn't even slightly the plan. I was going to voice cast the whole thing. I was just sitting there at the editorial scratching lines. So I'm creating these ludicrous, characters. And then by the time I got in post and I said, I got to do voice casting now, Paul's like, and everybody else was like, what are you talking about? Those are the characters, dude. And that's the first time I'd ever thought that we were laughing at it all the time. I thought we were laughing at it because it was kind of ridiculous, but then it was like, oh yeah, it's kind of perfectly ridiculous. And then the Ling one, the one time when I was doing it where I thought, geez, this could really be like, I'm at least going to play a few characters. Like I knew I'd play Ling because I couldn't fit a space. She was talking. It was in the scene where she goes, "You'll never make it ever. Don't you see? You can't make it." So it's that scene, and she has this whole long thing. And no matter what I said, she kept talking. And I'd already done a joke. I didn't want to do the joke again. So on one of the takes, and it's probably 2 or 3 in the morning, like we're just doing this, having fun. And then I one of the takes, I fill the gap with the wheel. I go wheel, wheel, wee. And then
so funny.
Paul and I almost fell out of our chair watching it. I'm positive it's not funny. I mean, I'm positive it's not funny. I've been doing comedy forever. I'm like, this is only because it's late. We're giddy. We're barely on fumes here. There's no way this is actually funny. If we play it in the morning and we laugh, she's doing it the whole time. And then we played it in the morning. We laughed. And then I just started looking for opportunities to
the rest is history.
Her dad says it, and she says it when she's sad.
That's so good.
We'll never make it, ever, never, ever.
Never make it. Don't you see? You can't make it. So a lot of that stuff was driven by the gap, like the length of time. I would just have to keep going until the mouth stopped, and then they became sort of engaging lines. And so the bird thing was that he was staring at this freaking paper for so long, saying nothing.
You just had to put something in.
So
there.
your first inclination is, we'll only use a couple seconds of that. But then I would just start messing with it. And then it just sort of made us laugh when I was bird.
Yeah.
It's all the time in the world.
That's
Tiger.
beautiful.
Love
Bird.
it.
Letting
Yeah.
it evolve.
No, I actually, if you have time for maybe one more question, I was going to
Yeah.
ask how much of the movie or the lines was improvised, because it
Oh, yeah.
sounds like because you are overdubbing things, you're going to have to, take some time. Was anything improvised?
Yeah, it's a high compared to a normal film. It's a high percentage
improv.
because I was sort of writing a lot of the things I was saying. So
Yeah.
it
Oh, yeah.
might be up to like 80%,
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
because I would I had like an outline in the script open.
Mhm.
And then I would just sort of like, we'd look at footage and I'd start riffing and then it would be funny. And then I'd go in and change some stuff and then maybe re-record an additional piece once I knew what was going on. Like That's a Lot of Nuts guy is, I'd like to put him in every movie ever if I can get, just to piece him out and stick it in somewhere. Cause there's no joke there. He's just nonsensically loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh boy. Well, thank you guys again.
Seriously,
Yeah.
thank you so
Appreciate
much.
for
That's
hopping
Of
on.
course. Yeah. Nice meeting you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Likewise.
And yeah, stay in touch and hopefully we'll chat again soon.
Yeah.
Sounds
At
good.
the 50th.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you everyone, and also to everyone else who's listening, watching.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. And nice seeing you, Jen.
You too, Steve. Rock.
All righty, guys. Well, have a good night. Thanks
Have a
for
great
tuning
night.
in, everybody.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Yeah. See ya.
all right. You have a great one.